Press Secretary and Senior Advisor for the America First Action Super PAC. Of course, that supports President Trump. Sean, good to have you here with me today, even though I wished you were here in person. I want to read to you something from Rod Rosenstein. He doesn't speak often, but he gave a speech today talking about the Attorney General and his plans to release the Mueller report. He said it would be one thing if you put out a letter and said, I'm not going to give you the report. What he said is, look, it's going to take a while to process the report. In the meantime, people really want to know what's in it. I'm going to give you the top line conclusions. That's all he was trying to do. And I don't think there's a lot to quibble with there. What about you?
I agree. I think this is just a timing. The Democrats are impatient. They wanted Mueller to come up with conclusions that substantiated the charges that they made against this president. When that fell short, they had protected Mueller, talked about how his integrity was beyond being questioned. When Mueller didn't substantiate the political charges they made, they've moved on to now attack Bill Barr. Bill Barr, who spent several years in the CIA, assistant U.S. attorney, assistant attorney general, deputy attorney general, and now attorney general twice. He's doing his due diligence. There's grand jury testimony and there's classified material in that report. And I think he's doing what's right to go beyond what he's supposed to do and making sure Congress has access to all of the underlying information.
The other thing is that, James Comey, the former FBI director, he had some thoughts about the Bill Barr report and the issue of spying. Listen to this.
With respect to Barr's comments, I really don't know what he's talking about when he talks about spying on the campaign. The FBI and the Department of Justice conduct court-ordered electronic surveillance. I have never thought of that as spying.
And then, Sean, listen to this. Matt Mueller, he used to work at DOJ under the Obama administration. He said the FBI obtained all of Hillary Clinton's emails, reviewed them, and the FBI director attacked her at a press conference. He then disclosed a further probe into her right before the election. But yes, Trump was treated unfairly. I mean, the Clinton people also have problems with what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. But look at the nut of what's being discussed now in terms of the spying. As I mentioned in Bill Barr's resume, he spent several years at the CIA. Aside from his distinguished and long career at the Department of Justice, this is a man who understands the difference between all of those various terms that are being thrown around. And I would trust his judgment. He sees and reviews countless avenues of classified information. And so while Director Comey, who's no longer in the government, isn't privy to that, I think Bill Barr his interpretation of things really matters in this particular case. The
other thing I did want to ask you about is because, I can't get enough of 2020 and of all the, every week there's going to be a new Democrat that's running. The campaign manager, Brad Parscale, was asked about any concerns he has going into 2020. Watch this.
I'm not really worried about any of them right now. I think they're going to beat up each other so much. I'm expecting another 15, I think, by next weekend. None of them have even touched us in one metric yet. They can play catch up all they want.
Would love to hear your thoughts about where you see things right now as the stuff, it's not that, it's kind of far away, but it's not really that far away if you think about when the first votes will be held in the primary less than a year from now.
That's absolutely right. I mean, it feels like it never stops. But the reality is that people didn't give us a chance in 2016, and we had this hidden trifecta. We had Brad Parscale, who is a talented digital strategist and marketer. We had Bill Skelly pulling in the most robust data operation that any party's ever seen and building profiles on every 190 million voters, Republican, Democrat, and independent, to tell us what they were. And then Chris Carr, the political director, using both of those avenues to make sure that the president was in the right place and delivering the message that was the most effective. Because
that might have been true in 2016, but it's super professionalized now, right?
Right. But unlike the fact all of these candidates are out there running that operation on their own or trying to build it from scratch. This is a proven entity that won in 2016. And all it's done since then is become more robust. The president announced the day of his inauguration that he was running again. And that operation that Brad is leading right now has continued to grow. You have America First Super PAC now augmenting that, going out there making the case for his policies and his candidacy. So we've got a well-oiled machine on all cylinders while they're just getting off the ground trying to figure out who's up and who's down.
They are. We'll keep covering it, and we'll invite you back, of course. Sean Spicer, thank you.